Thanks for joining us today. This is our first attempt at a live teardown of a vaporizer. And of course, that teardown is going to be the Tera Teardown. This is the V3 Tera from Boundless. Why the V3? Well, there was a few issues with the heating element. Let's talk about that just for a second. Before we go ahead and open this one up, you can see I got a brand new unsealed package. Anyways, so this was the first heating element of the Boundless Tera. This would be the V1. You'll notice up on top here, you have some silicone tape. This was also unfortunately found inside the heating element here, which caused some gassing and some nasty stink. And this triggered a recall, and rightfully so. It was something that had to be fixed and addressed. Shortly afterwards, they released the V2 version, which replaced the silicone wrap with a Teflon wrap. They put it on the outside, and they also put it on the inside in here. See, little tiny Teflon ring right there. Now, you do see Teflon once in a while in vaporizers outside of the heating element, outside of the air path. This one had this piece here that was directly within the air path, which was somewhat of a concern. So Boundless went back to the drawing board. They removed some pieces. Apparently this piece is not in there anymore. These pieces have also apparently been changed to a metal wrap as opposed to a Teflon wrap. We don't know this for sure. We're going to find out right now. We're going to tear a brand new Tera apart. We're all going to learn together, shall we? So there's the Tera. Let's take this thing apart, shall we? So we got brand new. Let me flip that over. Guess I should be showing it to you guys and not myself. Tera, look at that. Really nice packaging. I know that's not what we're here to talk about, but the packaging's awesome. These guys did a cool job with it. All right, Tera. So let's get this off. Those magnets feel a little bit stronger. I don't know if they changed that, but right away it feels like this has a nice sturdy magnet on it. Also, I don't know if you can get a close-up of this or not. They actually put the chamber screen in place. See that? Now, the original packaging of the Tera, they had these screens in a separate package, but they didn't have one inside the unit when you first get it. And that confused some people. They were packing their herbs directly on top of the heating element. And that caused it to look, your herbs would fall through the chamber. It would cause a little bit of vapor production, and that was unfortunately mistaken for off-gassing when that was not always the issue of what was going on. But very smart of Boundless to start with a chamber in there. Makes it a lot easier to understand. Now you know that's where it belongs. All right, so we got some screws there. 4 screws. 4 more on the bottom. I don't really know the right way to begin, but I have been disassembling these from the bottom. Thank you to all our Instagram followers who are watching us live right now. Also, a shout out to YouTube. We're going to be posting this later. And it's out. All right. So that's our first 4 screws. We just removed the base plate. You can see these springs right here. Those are what make your battery connectors bounce up and down. Seems a little magnetized. Yep, yes it is. All right, let's get these 4 out of the way. By the way, I've torn apart about 15 of these Teras so far, and each and every one in doing this process, I've completely destroyed them. So if you're doing this at home for fun, just keep in mind this absolutely voids your warranty, and you will most likely destroy your vaporizer in the process. It's good to see them using a lot of screws. It's a lot better than seeing adhesive everywhere, which you see in a lot of vaporizers, unfortunately. First piece comes off. This right here, this is your, let's get a shot of that. This piece right here, that's your USB adapter. I'm attempting to take this apart as much as I can without destroying the circuitry. Eventually I'm going to have to, but it's kind of cool to see how it all connects. There we go. Add more screws to the pile. There's another piece of the shell. I'll stick the shell pieces over there. Try to be organized for once in my life. The next screws, I see these guys down here. There's 4 screws, here, 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 and here. You can't get to these back ones unless this top piece comes off. Should I take that off now? No, I'm going to do it how I always do it. Try not to make a mistake when I'm recording live. Another big screw. Did I get it? Got it. Sweep. All right, let's get this top piece off. Everything screws into place. This top piece, as far as I can tell, it just snaps into place. So I'll get my unsnapulator. I broke it over here. That works. There we go. Pry it on out. Sweet. There. Popped apart. Look at that. Look at all those guts. Pretty cool, right? Nice of them to keep the batteries isolated from pretty much all the electronics and everything else. I love seeing that. Let's get this piece off. More shell, more screws. I think this isn't the classiest way to take this apart, but this is what I have been doing. There we go. Little slide-in tray that holds your positive connectors. I believe those are the positives. Let's take that apart. All right, where are we at? That. See, there's those other screws I was talking about. Now I can finally get to them. Out they come. Very cool. Almost there. Let's take this top piece off too. The top piece, your digital display, all your buttons, this controller panel, 2 screws in there to hold it in place. 2 of these little guys. There we go. Alrighty. We're almost naked. We got this outer shell. I believe this part also snaps into place. Let's get this silicone piece out. I think that's a silicone piece. Aha. And this is where we have to destroy the vaporizer, I believe. This shell, this outer plastic piece, the heating element looks like it's put in place, and then these pieces are welded in. I could be wrong about that. I don't always know what I'm doing, but I'm going to have to break this piece a little bit to get the heating element out so we can take a look at it without fully destroying this vaporizer. Boom. Do not do that at home. Or do it, but don't call us for a warranty. Boom. All right. Let's look at that heating element. I saved it. Wow. There's my screen. Slip that in. There we go. Looks a little different so far, doesn't it? Silicone's out of place because I was forcing it. All right, let's cut this boy up. I think I see something I'm already really happy to see. Guess I should do this on camera. Sorry about that. All right. So that's where the Teflon wraps used to be. There's now metal wraps there. Looks like they're just folding wraps too. Pretty cool design. Something that is just screaming at me that I have to talk about is this back end. This is what the V1 Tera looked like. There's a little bit of, I believe that's silicone to plug up the holes there. On the V2, this kind of bugged me a little bit, but the ones I took apart, I kept seeing kind of an overuse of the silicone right there, which, you know, that's worrisome. There's not any specific reason that bothers me other than you probably shouldn't use more of this material than is necessary. Cool. So it's great to see. Thanks, Boundless. Really happy to see that. All right, now these pieces, I think, yep, looks like they just fold. That's kind of cool. Doesn't weld, no adhesive. It's just one piece of metal that, I don't know if you can see this, but there's this little tag here that folds into this piece here. These are both here to hold this is your temperature gauge, by the way, this little piece. So it is important these wraps are here and holding the temperature gauge up against the wall. Very nice to see the change. I believe these are stainless steel. I can be extremely wrong about that. I reserve that right, so don't quote me on that just yet. I'll put those to the side. All right, let's take a look. Should I? Boom. Pull this apart. Let's get away from the bottom piece. Let's get it naked. There we go. And there we go. So we got ceramic heating element. We got our stainless steel ring. We've got our outer shell. This piece heats up. This piece heats up. This piece radiates heat and it directs your air path. What we were looking for originally was, did I lose it? Right here. We really wanted to make sure that Teflon piece wasn't there anymore. I think that was everyone's biggest concern, was that specific part, and it is not there. So that's good. That's great to hear. Great to see. So that's what the internals look like. Pretty cool, right? That's the inside of your Boundless Tera. That's what heats it. So that goes back. This goes back on. I'd love to put this all back together right now, but there's no possible way of doing that. Lots of pieces to share. Let's see if I can fit it all on here. That circuitry. Nice fill-in circuitry too. That little haptic feedback sensor right in the middle of it. It's cool. I love finding those. I don't know why. So Boundless promised some changes. That's what we're seeing. I see no signs of Teflon. I see, gosh, was there any? No, there really wasn't. I see no silicone usage like in the past units. This wasn't really talked about a lot, but to me, using a little dab on the bottom is one thing. In the V2 version, there was just, in my opinion, too much silicone being used. So it's nice to see that that has been reduced down to nothing. Boom. And that's it. That's your Tera. Your Tera torn apart. Your Tera Teardown, whatever you want to call it. Cool. So I guess I should have some final thoughts, shouldn't I? Bring back up here this pretty face. we have to thank Boundless for allowing us to do these teardowns. I know they've taken some heat, and rightfully so, for the original production of the Tera. There was some gassing issues that were pretty nasty. I'm glad we were able to help identify the problem. They did take a lot of heat for that problem. They deserve to take heat for that problem. I will say, though, Boundless is one of the most open companies we have dealt with when it comes to these teardowns. You would be surprised how many companies either encourage us not to do the teardowns or flat out tell us don't do them. And Boundless has always been open. They've always asked us to do teardowns. They contact us in advance and say, hey, we're sending you vapes to rip apart. 90% of the time when a company hears us doing a teardown, usually I get an angry email saying don't do it, or we're going to cut you off, and we're going to have our bloggers tear you apart online, and it can get frustrating. So I got to commend Boundless for their openness. And I do appreciate the changes they've made. It looks a lot better. We're not making any conclusions right now. We're going to leave that up to the public. We'd love to hear what you guys think about these internals. Is this a product you want? I know I'm going to be using my Tera tonight. I hope other people have similar opinions. Of course, if you have a dissenting opinion, we'd love to hear it too. So please let us know. And that's pretty much everything you need to know. That's the whole internals of the Tera. So I hope you like this video. This is our first attempt at doing a teardown. Hopefully we can do a bunch more soon. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you everyone on Instagram, and we're done.